Okay, my name is Karimunda Kalimo, a PhD student at the University of South Bohemia, Czech Republic, in the Department of Technology and Cybernetics. I would like to start by thanking Cognifies Technologies for offering me this amazing opportunity for doing machine learning internship in their company. During this internship, I did three tasks. Where in my first task, I built a machine learning model that can predict the rating of the restaurant based on some relevant features. I started by importing some necessary libraries like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and so on. Then after, I loaded the dataset. This dataset has been provided by Cognifies Technologies. Then I visualize some samples of the data, 5 rows, by using head method. When you use head method, you implement the first 5 rows. When you use tail, you get 5 last. After I started working with my model by doing data pre-processing, where I handle missing values and coding categorical variables and splitting the dataset into 80% training and 20% testing. Here I try to see the shape of the dataset. It has 9,551 rows and 21 columns with the list of columns. These are the column names. And here I see what are the values of aggregate rating, because aggregate rating is my target variable. Here I can see the information of the dataset, where I have some integer values. By checking the info, it helps us to know what are the data type of our variables or our columns, where we have integers, float, and object. When you see object, categorical variables, and integer and floats are numerical variables. This is the statistical representation of the numerical variables, like the mean, standard deviation, minimum value, 25%, 50%, 75%, and the maximum values. Here I tried to visualize the distribution of the target variable, which is aggregate rating. I can see that 0 is the highest value represented in the aggregate rating, which means that a lot of restaurants are rated by I rated as 0, which could be caused by the data collected from the rural, maybe rural villages or less developed areas where restaurants operate traditionally and may lack the resources or some infrastructures necessary to achieve the rating. Here I try to visualize the missing values. Is null method is used to visualize the missing values. I see that cuisines present 9 values which are missing, so I can drop them because it's not too much. Because it's few, I can drop them. Then after dropping them, you can see that also cuisine present 0 null value, so we don't have any missing value. After dropping them, the shape changed to 4,542. You can see only 9 rows have been dropped. Then I selected features, relevant features that I will use during my training. During training the algorithm, I will use these features. I think they are the most relevant. After that, I get the information of the variables. After choosing the relevant features, I see that I still have categorical variables, so I have to encode them into numerical variables because machine learning algorithms are well friendly with numerical variables. So this is what I did to encode categorical variables. I used the label encoder. After encoding categorical variables, you can see that all the variables are numeric or are integer. Integer is numeric, no categorical variable or object. Then I split the data into test and train, where I will use train set to train my algorithm and test set to test the algorithm. I started building. By building the model, I didn't know which algorithm will perform well. That's why I decided to work with 5 widely used regression algorithms so that I can compare their performance and go with the one which performs well. I started by working with linear regression. I imported the linear regression algorithm. I train it and test it, but I will do evaluation together after finishing training all the 5 algorithms so that I can compare the results. I worked with decision tree, random forest, k nearest neighbors, other boosts. After building 5 models, I did evaluation of all of them to see which one performs well. This is the result report. The best algorithm is the one with the least mean square error and the highest R score. As you can see, random forest present the lowest mean square error and the highest R square, which means that random forest performs the best. This is the visualization of the results. As you can see, blue is mean square error. Random forest presents the lowest, and R square is the one which is in, is it orange? And you can see random forest presents the highest. So I would like to choose random forest for my model. For my restaurant renting model. So by interpreting the result, I will also see which feature contribute the most. As you can see, votes contribute the most on my restaurant rating model. Still, you can see that votes has the highest contribution to the model. And finally, I ended up by saving my model. This is the model. I used the JobLab library to save my model and save my encoder so that I can use it elsewhere and my Scala. Thank you so much. Now I will going to present again my second task and third task.